So it's time for the fourth lecture of the weekend now. We had some endgame, we had some Joseki and so on. And since the Challengers League has been going on now, I thought it would be interesting for everybody to see a game from the Challengers League. And we looked through a few options, some of them were less interesting, some of them more interesting, and we'll do one of the more interesting ones, which is Andrew K with Boris
Mitrovic.
Boris Mitrovic, yep. So, without further ado, let's go. Which side were you? Are playing?
I was playing black.
Black in that game, so let's do yours on the right side. Like this. And this here, right?
Yeah. Before we get into it, anytime I say something stupid, I'm doing it for the benefit of the audience so that Antti can teach. It's not because I'm playing us.
Alright, so
that's what I'll pretend anyway.
So now you're the Asian female professional who is making all the stupid questions, right? That's the tradition in Japan. Does this look normal? Yeah. Yep, it's quite... Well, it used to be common like 10 years ago or 5 years ago. None of the AI ever played it, so I think that's why we're not seeing it in Pro-Go anymore, but it's normal. I guess... do you like this shape as black?
I like playing this as black mainly because it prevents white from making a moyo on this side.
Right. And you don't like this shape quite as much?
I could play either, but usually I'll play this one.
Mm-hmm. Yep, pretty much. Just the difference is that if we go with this shape, it's most likely going to be this inversion around here, right? Well, could possibly be something like this as well. There's two weak points, but this is the normal rule. And if we have this shape instead, now there's nothing very interesting around here, but white might, for example, try keeping around here. And depending on the situation, could be like a game or could be maybe an attachment. But black can usually fight around it. So actually with this shape, the fourth line move is the follow-up, we could say. Then it's like, black might start fighting, could become jump, jump, jump into the center, or it could be an attachment and an attachment. Okay. And this kind of thing. How does this look? Well, it's something white can look forward to. So, the black connection around here is just a little bit weak, which means that white may get some stones in this area. That's pretty much it. Okay, so that's normal, and now we get this corner first.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, this place. So when I look at this right now, this is to me the good old 2016, which is ancient history, because nobody plays like this anymore in except professional games. Yeah, amateurs of course play it. So when you show this to the AI will say, "Oh, you lost 5% over there." What does 5% mean? It's probably a mistake of less than 1 point in pure territory. It's extremely small. So if you don't know the Joseki, you can play like this. It's totally fine. Just the difference to the earlier we used to think that white should play honey connection here. And this seems to be a big loss. White doesn't play this one. As long as white doesn't, white can be happy with the result.
So I believe normally white would push here once more so that the turn wouldn't be, so that this wouldn't be sente for black. Is that right?
Well, the thing seems to be that the AI thinks they're both fine. The AI thinks it's going to be like this sooner or later. But usually you're not in a hurry to play this one, because if, for example, black goes down, well, if white blocked, then black's this move would be sente. It threatens the corner. But white extends first, and black has no choice, right? So it's going to come down to this shape anyway. And again, a little bit later in the game, could even be immediately, black can get this one in center, and that's normal. So the corner result we are looking at is something like this.
Is this really sente this early in the game?
Not quite this early in the game, but white doesn't really lose anything by defending, because it means that white can then look at connections and jumps around here. There's no throw-in or anything. It's just the shape we finally expect later on in the game. Who do you like?
Black.
Black? Who do you like now?
Black. Yeah.
Because the thing is that here, locally, black has played one more stone. So locally, of course, black's result is going to be better, but white gotta move elsewhere, and we need to take that into account. That's why the A, I think, is fine. And white still has some 10 points, right? Well, 8 at least. Do you know what black plays nowadays?
Knight's move.
King.
Knight's move, yeah. Do you understand this move?
So white can bump against the stone, or he can attach beneath it.
Bump and
Yeah.
right?
One hand, yeah.
And then what happens?
Black plays a
For example, Tenuki, yeah?
But locally he plays a honey below.
Honey below, yes. And
Little
cut here, right?
Yeah.
And then, for example, well, white can choose a direction here. White could just take the one stone. And it goes like this. Now white plays elsewhere. And again, black looks better, right? It's because black played one more stone in this corner. So when we evaluate all of it, we need to consider that white got a free move here. Black has a stronger, better result here, but white got 15 points. Or something like that. That's direction number 1. White can take here, but white can also capture from, wait a second, it's not
This is not there.
here and here. So now black squeezes. White plays it hard. And then Kema here.
And you can either play this one or this one,
Yeah.
is that correct?
So this basically just depends on what over here. If black can take a stone in the ladder, it should. It's a good result. And in this game, it looks quite safe, right?
Yeah.
The shape here is solid, so white doesn't even get a very good ladder breaker. If there happened to be something white around here, in that case we play the Kema.
Sacrifices the 3 stones, right?
Yeah, if necessary we can sacrifice the 3 stones. So like this. Net. And, well, later on, squeeze. And then black can play elsewhere. So it's still quite the strong black formation on the outside. It's not very big for white to right now capture 3 stones, so white also plays elsewhere. How do you like this? Do you like that? Do you like white?
For white strong below on the lower corner, the left corner.
Yeah, so, but just locally speaking, it seems fine for both sides, right?
Yeah.
And we need to fit it to the whole board situation. If white is strong here, it means the black wall is not very useful.
Yeah.
And most likely black will also not pick this particular Joseki. He'll play something else. Like, it used to be. It used to be like this, right?
Yeah.
And we got the previous result by playing the honey and cut.
Tenuki.
So maybe black just plays elsewhere. And then white continues like this locally. So that's a good result for white now, but it's black center. Looks fine. This is one more Joseki. Well, if you ask me, why should black play this one and not this one? It's quite difficult to give a solid response, right? My personal feeling is that with the Hane and extension, this is definitely Gote for black. White definitely gets to play elsewhere first. So this is more difficult to fit to the whole board situation. Whereas with this one and this one, it seems like black has more options. Black can play elsewhere right now. Black can go for the sequences we saw. And, well, black can choose from them. So this is easy to fit to the whole board. Most likely that's why we don't really see this anymore. And we see this and the extension instead.
Can white attach to that black stone underneath?
Yeah.
If we made a Kema
Yes.
and attach underneath.
Yes. Yes, he can.
Is that
And
still sente for black?
you mean black now plays elsewhere?
Oh no, not immediately. I hope not.
Even it used to be immediately,
Yeah.
like 5 years ago. But you can also, for example, draw back here. This is simple. So black is looking to cut here, of course. And now white could play here. It reverts to the earlier one, right? Or white could go through here. And again, black plays elsewhere. It's possible. But I will not recommend this move. All the top pro games right now, all the top players in the world, are playing this one. In like 30 or 40% of the games, there's this Joseki at least one time, could be twice. And why I don't want to recommend it is that it's incredibly difficult.
But it's so much fun.
It's so much fun, but the feeling is like if you didn't spend 10 hours researching it, and your opponent did, then he knows one move that you didn't know, and then you lose the game there. That's my impression.
But then you get to benefit from your opponent's research when you review it.
So does this look nice for black right now? A few cunning points. And black's correct move is this kind of a diagonal here. And white extends. And there's some kind of ladder madness here as well. Wait a second, Jeff, how was this? If black has the ladder, can black just take a stone? It never
If
happens.
black has a ladder.
Yes.
Oh yeah, okay, give me a sec. So yeah.
I didn't know, so that's why I'm asking. Well, normally it goes like this. Like this. And there's some kind of ladder business here, like white could cut here and make a double threat of capturing and laddering, right? So black plays this kind of a hane here. And white is supposed to play this kind of diagonal. After which this is center. And this is also center. And then we go here. And then attach one time. And or hane to corner, yeah? And there's the question of, is it better to connect or go down? And the top pros don't agree here either. They might be more or less equal. And then there's the question of, should black play the Atari or just connect? Top pros don't agree. And white cuts like this. And it's very important for black to play this right now. And then black is supposed to kill white. And then white gets a capture around here. And this is just one of the sequences. And then it's the question of if black can play elsewhere or not. What's going on with the capturing race?
I would be hesitant to Tanuki at this point.
Yep. It seems to be that white is captured because there's this kind of weakened start here at the cutting point. So black has an extra liberty there. But just locally speaking, white then has this kind of an attachment here to attack black on this side. And you want to hane to this one, right? And it turns out this is again losing a mistake. Black has to extend. Because if you play this way, white goes here, black captures a stone, or so looks like, and there's this kind of a move. Which means that white is extending his liberties. Black cuts. White plays here, now there's a snapback. Sorry, connect snapback. So black has to capture, and now this is a big eye, and white wins the capturing race. My point is, don't play this Joseki, unless you expect something like this, right? If you like this kind of a game, then fine, go for it. I don't. Okay, so let's get back to the game. And this way, right?
Yeah.
Yep. AI era go.
And I really should have played like this now.
Yeah, so most likely, well, what happened in the game was that black played the same move again, right? And it looks like black is making a nice big moyo on the right side. What's the problem? It's white's turn. White plays in the middle. Where is the moyo? Right? So the first sequence could have been fine, but at least for the second one, black really, really needs center to play around here, right? So then the thing is to just, this extension is the easiest way. So white has to answer, of course. Well, Keima is the normal way. And then we take the middle point. This is okay. But if you're used to this 3-3 invasion Joseki as black plays honey and extension, then you cannot really think about taking center, right? But that is how we play these days. The key thing is to take center as early as possible and to try to make a reasonable looking formation. This.
Yeah. So you were showing me some quite exciting options for black.
Yeah, but well, the problem here is that what should black play next?
Nuki, I mean, whichever side you play, it's the same difference. Really.
Tenuki? Because you can play one of these anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we Tenuki? Both of these corners are settled, so should we play on the left side? What's big there? Like a slide. And so then white will just be... Isn't this a weak group?
Yeah.
Looks to me like a weak group.
Right. What if black attaches on the third line?
On the third line, you say?
Yeah.
But you were playing white in this game, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now the interesting thing here was that I had two move ideas. Because it seems like these black walls are becoming weak, right? And it's a symmetrical position. So most likely the best move could be somewhere on this line, right? And we want to do something with this white stone. So my first idea is to play on the third line to, well, try to start some kind of fight here. And the second idea was this one. And it might, well, let's see. Third line. Hane from maybe this direction. Like this. And, well, then my idea was to cap. Maybe here. What do you think, Jeff? You don't like it?
No.
So I think
Might
white
have to push.
pushes here because the two stones are weak. And guess we need to extend. And white will just push again.
Yes.
Double honey is extremely painful. Extend. White might almost just, well, if we look at this corner, most likely black's descent will be sent there, or it's threatening. So let's not touch this area anymore. Jump out. What is black doing?
Trying.
Maybe black a cross cut? It's probably not good.
Cross cutter.
Well, because there's storm on both sides, crosscut shouldn't be too bad, right? You want to fight.
I think white probably settles fairly quickly this way.
Well, it's
But I
something
can
we can
agree.
consider anyway, yeah.
It makes it harder for white to fight.
White only has to save one of the stones, and this gives white lots of possible
Yeah, most likely
moves.
we'll just give one up. Yeah, seems easy enough. And then we start attacking. Yeah. So anyway, the problem is that the black walls are becoming weak groups. And that's something black has to fight against. Now it seems to me like if you attach on the third line here, it doesn't really feel like attacking, does it? It's more like you're defending, or
Yeah.
you let white become strong and you make some territory for yourself. And that's not really the right kind of attitude here. If black takes a defensive stance here, he's kind of admitting that, okay, I'm weak, right? But if I admit that my walls are weak, well, I just lost the game then, didn't I? That's weak attitude. So it seems to me like it should be the upper attachment. Let's see what
We play a
happens.
natural sequence like this.
Yeah. Can I play a hand here? So that's ladder, huh? That's ladder over there. Can I get even a ladder breaker?
I think if white plays this to resolve the ladder, then it's becoming a problem.
So it goes here and this group is becoming weak already. Okay. So I will continue here. That's sent against the corner. White captures. It's still not good. Okay. Well, not many options here. So neither of the symmetrical points is good either. Final idea, cap. Looks like a Q move, right? but it might be the best one.
About like this.
And well, if we connect on the upper side, white is just going to live.
Yeah.
So we try a bit harder again. Okay. I'll play this in center.
About this one in center.
Ah, but it could be, but it also makes the corner bigger. So
Yeah.
I would just normally.
Okay.
So let's actually simplify it here. In this corner, always black can play the descent in center. White pushes once, and it becomes this shape. Let's do it here as well.
White can push once more on the second line instead of the passing one.
I can, yes.
Center.
Question is it good or not? So it goes like this, and now you want to play
Yeah.
maybe here. Okay. So that means black jumps in the corner, right? And you push once more and extend. And then you play elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. I block here, you play here. Hane.
Then throw it.
You could just live as well. If you do this, could be some kind of a co-fight. No.
But is this living if you don't do it?
Then it's this, you get exactly 4.
This, oh, sorry, I miscounted. I
Yeah,
looked
this
at
one,
an
exactly 4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Couldn't count them from this angle.
No problem. How does this look?
Good for white.
The problem still is that white is living easily everywhere, but I'm at least a little bit happy with this kind of a black wall, right?
So if I do like this,
Hmm.
and then
Most likely white will just connect here.
okay, jump, and then like this. And try and make this the moyo instead. But
Yeah.
because this creep is so settled, then it seems hard to create a moyo because you still need to seal in this direction.
Right. For example, here we agree that white group on the right side is strong, right? So now we can actually lean on it, I think. Some kind of Hane here, counter Hane here, extension. Just to make it a little bit harder for white to enter the left side. And then maybe try to lean here as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of a desperate kind of playing, but this is try to keep pressure on white and to create a final battleground on the left side. Mistake was made already,
Yeah.
but we need to keep on playing. It's kind of interesting actually. Deepsen used to play the crawl, but none of the other AIs ever plays it. Usually in AI Go it's accepted that white will just defend here. It's good enough. I guess because they like the wall that comes up. But it's not extremely bad or anything. More like a well position. So then I guess cap. Still here. And now we have to fight.
Like this.
I was going to play here.
Ah.
Very slight difference. So black can next go here and cut through, right? So probably white blocks here. We go up. And then we can try thinking about capping, right? If we just play here and go down, this will not be center anymore because white's connected. So it's a little bit slower. But even then, I'm not really feeling positive with this one. I'm just doing what I have to do, right?
And why is white playing on the third line rather than the fourth line when it's undercut on both sides? Isn't it better to play here and aim for the Kema to peak at the cut?
Right.
Does black have to do this?
Undercut on both
That would be normal, yeah?
But no.
Now the thing is that if you do this way, then you're capped anyway, and it's still open from here. But if I could choose between this, this would be a little bit easier to me.
Even though it's undercut, it's not important.
Undercuts?
By
From this side, or?
from the other side.
It's not really undercut from the other side because like, at most you can play like this and then connect.
Oh yeah, but in that case white also becomes
Yeah.
stronger on the outside. Actually, you could even consider this kind of a simple Kema here. It's hard to say which one is best, right? Because this one, it's true that black might enter and there might be nothing, whereas this way, if white gets just one more move, it's definitely alive, right? This might still have something because black has stones around, so actually,
Yeah, I think white would have at least one Kema like this.
Yep. And even there, it's true, there could be something.
Yeah.
So that's the easiest way. If your opponent has more stones in the area, it's better to keep a little bit tight shape. Do not leave any weaknesses. But anyway, the thing is that at the moment where white gets the middle point, black is in trouble for sure.
Yeah.
So in the game it was close, right?
Yeah.
And I think white
So you
keep, right?
keep now.
Yeah. Probably white would be fine with just blocking.
Yeah, so my plan was like this.
Go up. And turn. That's like an attachment, I guess.
I guess I have to answer.
And do I extend here? Then time to push one. You can play there. I'm going to go here, yeah.
Maybe here, but I'm not sure.
Well, I guess I can leave like this. It's good for territory.
Yeah.
So, well, the problem is that it used to be bad anyway, so... right. But for white it would be easy to just... well, my explanation would be, I would play here to lean on the black stone, because if black wants to attack these two white stones, it means that black has to keep this one strong, right? You cannot kill the opponent with your dead stones. So I play here to force black to defend. And black goes up, so it strengthens the stone. I go up. It was a cap here, right?
Yeah.
And again I turn to make these ones weaker, which in turn makes this stronger. I'm leaning on the opponent. Or the other way to say it would be that defense is the strongest offense. Offense is the strongest defense, that way. The other one is truth as well, but offense is the strongest defense. But this is actually also attacking, so it's interesting. If black simply blocked here, it would be empty triangle. White gets what he wants, right? So black is fighting back.
Yeah. This would be normal.
No, I didn't do that.
Yeah, this is not the sequence.
I did not extend.
Played here.
Ah, that's how it came. Huh. And so black pushed back
Yeah,
here, and that's how
that's
it came.
right, yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, quite sure. Why not?
Cut
then
first.
cut.
Cut first, cut later.
Cut first, think later. Huh?
No, cut later.
Cut later. And then it was the
Descend once more.
You need to center.
descended once here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, because it has to be centered with this one. And here and here.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
So black kept himself connected. White corner is fine, and white is cut on the outside. And now it becomes a kind of what's the English for shinogi shobu? Well, it's kind of a shape-creating fight, or shape-destroying fight. Can white make efficient shape, or can black effectively destroy white shape? That kind of fight. And I think white played cap in the game.
Yeah.
So what happened here was black went out, like this. White connected, right?
Yeah. And so this move would be better than what I played in the game.
And for
Yeah,
me,
which
the
was
other
it.
connection will be better. rather than-
Yeah, so as you can see, there's quite a few mistakes already.
Yeah, so this white here would be better shape, I think.
But even better than that one, actually, instead of connecting here, white should just make the shape.
Yeah.
I don't think black there is cut now, right?
Yeah, of course.
So it's still this diagonal here. And, well, the simplest way would just be around here. Yeah, to move out. Or white might play on an extension to leave quickly. So that's one of the key points to make a kind of eye around here, connect white. And when white plays this, this is a bit better. Well, the feeling is, to me the feeling is that white still should play this one.
Yeah.
But now this one could have been more efficient, a little bit further out, right? Even this way the cut doesn't exist because of Atari trapped there. So it's just a little bit slow. Right, so here, this one, double hane,
I could not resist making a panuki.
making a panuki. In this audience, only Jeff can see this mistake, I guess.
I can't see the board. Ah, no, okay, got it.
Yeah.
No.
Hmm? It's not good, yeah. Alright, we have one more strong person. 600. The thing is that, well, it's kind of difficult to explain, but we have all these stones around here, right? And these 3 white stones, are they completely dead?
At the moment, yes.
At the moment, yes, they cannot get out. Like this. But the case is that they are not completely wasted yet. There's a way to use it, which is that if white has a stone around here, then it's possible for white to go out, right? And it's actually kind of dangerous. So the feeling is that if white plays here, black has to do something like jump out. It's white center, more or less. So when we think of the position around here, I would just prefer to assume that these stones are here already, because it's center, and then think of my move. And now it's obvious, right? We don't play from this side, we play from this side. And then we just remove these. Yes, it's an obvious Atari, but when you play it, white has lost this center move from here. It's an empty triangle. So this makes the shape more efficient for black.
Yeah, so my thinking was that if white pulls these out, then I've got a weak group here and a weak group here, and white has a weak group here and a weak group here. But I thought that the fight should be good for me because I've just made a Tanuki. Also, there's something interesting in this corner because if I get this turn trying to live, then I can capture 2 stones like this to make an iron sente. It's like this. White doesn't have time to throw into this.
Yes,
and then this is sente to make an eye.
Mm-hmm.
So this turn makes an eye on the side.
In theory, yes, but there can also be a practical problem.
Yeah, if white plays this one, then it's a bulky 5, and
Yes.
that is a lot of liberties. So in that case, I would have to win a
Right.
capturing race.
So the scenario might be something like black is out, white is out, and in this kind of a situation, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Because the black group is also not alive, and the capturing race might be a loss for black. So there's a contingency, we might say.
Yeah. But I considered that I would be able to get more liberties over here before doing this kind of turn, and then I've got half an eye here, I just need 1.5 eyes here.
Okay.
So I thought the fight would be okay for me, basically. That's why I played this and captured the...
Right, so your argument is that white has 2 unsettled groups and 1 group that can be a little bit leaned against, we could say. And black has 2 weak groups and then he got a punky.
Yeah.
Let me compare it to the other one. Atari here.
Now I have to pull back.
Well, if possible, actually, I would play this at this. Alright, but then here, yeah. So like this, give up the 1 stone.
Yeah. And this is white is settled and outside, so this seems like a failure for black.
Right, so this is black settled position and center as opposed to fighting. Okay, so then it's a question of can you play peaceful or do you need to fight, right? Let me just count. Yeah, okay, it's still not good for black. Okay, I can agree with that. Probably personally speaking, I would be happy with capturing 3 stones at the center, but that's because I'm confident in my endgame. If you're more confident in fighting more, then, well, it's a little crude, but we can fight, huh?
And this is the game.
Right. And white's attacking here, right?
Yeah.
This was kind of interesting to me, actually. Can black play here? It will be the best shape. Sorry?
Moving a little that way. I'm missing this.
To the left?
Great, thanks.
It's about where you stand. No, it's about where you stand and he cannot see the board.
Really?
Yeah.
Just from
No,
the
it's good. No, it's good. Yeah, continue.
And there's stone here.
Yeah.
Ladder just works for white, I think.
The ladder works.
Ladder just works for white, right? Because white plays 2 Ataris from here, and then it goes.
That black stone doesn't quite help.
Yeah, because this white stone
Yeah.
breaks it.
So I think, for example, this one would be fine for black, right? Yeah, this one
Yes.
works for black,
Yes.
and this one doesn't. that kind of a difference. But it's just, I've called it bad luck.
Yeah.
Black, really. So black is forced to play the empty triangle.
And now it was here.
And was it the
Came up.
And black 2 space there.
Yeah, so I need liberties to win a capturing race against this. This will start a capturing race of some sorts, but white has a lot of liberties, so I can Atara in and play this. This doesn't quite work at the moment because you can push and wedge.
Right, but the good shape would be this one, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. So this way works for white at the moment. But as long as I can get some kind of center against these stones to fix this, then this one will be ceiling, and then I start a capturing race. But I will lose the capturing race because these stones don't have enough liberties.
Isn't it possible for white to just use this one if necessary to go out?
Yeah, that's why I need that's
You need a stone there.
that's why I need to fix with these stones before I do this kind of thing.
Right. So any additional black moves around here?
So even something like this or this kind of move should be allowing the seal.
So the idea is like, or the shape will be white attaches, and black wants to be able to play this kind of ceiling move. That's what black is aiming for.
Yeah, exactly. But I need liberties here to do that first. So. And white plays here to save these.
This one.
stones. Yeah.
That's a strange shape.
There's some weakness like this.
Alright, it's possible
Yeah,
to aim
but
for this
not,
kind of
not
thing.
yet.
If black has a liberty here.
Yeah, because this will fail for black.
Yeah. How to explain this shape? Jeff, any ideas?
Nose? Nose? My
Nose?
instinct is nose. Nose on the center. Yeah. That's the instinct. And the honey.
I think I'll ignore this one probably. Maybe I just need to sneaky.
Okay, and as we said, there's one black eye here, but white is also alive,
Yeah.
if necessary. So, well, I guess we should play the first.
Yeah.
Okay, no?
Okay,
In the center.
here.
No. Yeah, that group. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a long game like this.
This. Yeah. So this will be another fight.
Well, in the game, white didn't go for the end of the fight. Would it be enough, Boris?
Yeah, I think so.
For me, it looks positive.
Because white was good
I
at the
had
start,
it in
right?
mind.
So for white, it should be fine just call off the fight and keep it simple.
Yeah.
White was the one who was happy. It's also slightly difficult to explain, but
This stone is here.
the white Kosomi here in the game is bad shape because black has this stone already here, which is hitting the ice base of the.
Should I attach on the third line maybe?
I think this would be overplay, right?
It's possible you want to play there because it makes better shape, but if you cannot keep it together, you can. So the obvious problem is, what if black starts cutting?
Yeah.
It cuts all the way, right?
And then
That one as well, yes.
and now we must defend.
Yep. But here we have a ladder.
Yeah, exactly.
So the obvious problem is not a problem. Then we can of course think about cutting, but that's simple for white as well. White goes out. Okay, so black cannot bump. If black cannot bump, he can also only play something like Hane here. But that makes it directly better than the game, because it's like white played this move and prevented this black block here. Andrew is reading. Okay. And for this one, could I... Well, let's just cut. And I think I will use Jeff's attachment here. You cannot go inside because I will play the peep here and start attacking the eyes. So I think you'll just jump the outside.
Yeah. So we can't do that.
Yeah, that was a good chance here. I think you thought about this move. Why didn't you play it?
I think I misread the line with the
This
palm.
sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a shame. Oh, then it was an extension, I think. And jump there. Okay. And then rotate something in the center. Jump.
And up. So the plan here is if white just connects, then I'm hoping this group is alive, and I'm gonna. Where was I going to play here? So we get this at some point.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
there already. Yeah.
And I can play something like this to continue the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Can white kill the black?
Yeah, we're not sure.
Yeah, I'm
about the
just
life
reading
and death
right
of this
now.
group.
And always in this kind of a situation where you have a group that you absolutely cannot lose, right? It must live. That always makes the situation more and more scary or hazardous, we should say. For example, then the question starts to be: is this kind of white move center? It could make a difference on the outside. White is jumping around here, black is jumping. There might be a cutting point.
Yeah.
So it might be that this white move is actually aiming to kill two black groups at the same time, and you need to be able to read all of that at the same time. From white's,
I decided that this would not be something.
not be center. Okay. And then
Would not be. So
not in the center, but the center against this one. Yep. So that makes white's situation in the center stronger again.
yeah.
So also it means that in this position, black assumes that the shape is already like this, and he will have to pick his move here with this assumption.
And I think this kind of fight is still.
Still goes for, yeah, still works. Well, I guess for the time being I'll just go
Yeah.
inside. Now I think you need to be a bit that side, okay?
And then fix maybe like this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm misreading. I'm looking for an angle. Yeah.
Mhm.
So this one is not very good then. So it should be like this, I guess.
Yep. There's still something I can look for.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's still some complications.
Yes, or maybe just go through from here.
Yeah.
So let me see. Well, it might be just my way of playing, but I usually like to try to make things more understandable,
Yeah.
rather than even more hazardous. If white connects, yeah. That's also notice the if. It's not like white has to play the empty triangle.
Yeah.
White can also just play
Yeah,
go from
I
here and
expected
just
this
watch the
one.
game, right?
No, the game is
Similar.
this.
The game was there, one step further.
I expected this.
So then you just sacrifice the one stone,
Yeah.
I think.
Exactly. And now.
Because now black gets
Yeah.
moves on the outside
Yeah.
and can start attacking. And then again we have the question of if
Is
the
this
group...
alive? I was hoping that it would be.
Okay, so let me just check quickly.
Can white just put the second line?
It's really annoying if black gets this one because then
Yeah.
there's the one eye there. So I think it's safe to say that white's first move is this. Then what's going on? Let's take that one. I play here.
It's fine.
Or actually, let's make it as thick as possible now because I'm ready to kill right
yeah.
now.
So now block.
Block there. And then
So I have
that's the
half
shape.
an eye here. This needs to be 1.5 eyes,
Yes.
and we're not sure about this hardening.
If black plays here, there's half an eye here and there's one eye here. That's live.
Well, white can reduce that eye by making cone. Oh no, not cone. Sorry.
If I place this one, it's just not center. So
Yeah.
so one A is not the move. One of the key points would be this one, but I think that can just play the upper eye.
Yeah. This is working for black.
Yep. So to me the question would be, can white play from the other side or not?
Can white do something funky in that variation where white's
If I go down here, for example, what is the shape?
You can just play like this.
Then I go here. Then I go here. then
Decent all over.
do I start with the honey?
No need. Just a decent is all over.
Just this is over.
Descend on Atari.
Throw in out.
Throw in Atari and then take it.
Yeah. Then take it.
And take the eye. That's an over.
But the black can block it.
So if we go back to
No, this is fine.
point,
No block. Yeah, block.
block this one.
No. The inside one. The 210 or 10-2. Yeah, this one.
Because of the corner stuff,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about. But it's actually tricky.
Alright.
No, actually that not necessarily doesn't work. It's fine. You can play that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's
so
actually
white
pretty
connects
You
on this
connect
side.
the tail instead.
Because this local shape is white has a stone here, and black has a stone here. Black has
Yeah.
to keep connected,
Yeah.
so we just add them.
So it has
Yeah.
to code there.
Yes. Has the well, co is not good, right?
Yeah, then black.
Black can fight a co, but
Yeah, so let's discard that 2-8. 2-8 is not.
well, the honey didn't work, so that means we
So
only
this
have
way also makes a code. It's not a good code. So it's a bad code. Oh, that's a white
Are you
stone.
going for that one?
No, forget it.
Yeah, there's two sides to this coin. So on the other hand, if you play a fighting game like this, it's really fun and exciting, right? But at the same time, you're slightly playing a roulette there. If the opponent finds the right sequence of moves, you're suddenly dead. That's what. We still didn't read it completely. There might be something more, but in general, there's an element of uncertainty there.
Yeah. The other thing is if I have enough liberties, I can play here.
Yeah, exactly. And it could also be a capturing race between
Yeah.
the two. And that's something white has to think about when black makes this peep. White might prefer not to play this one, because it weakens the outside group. And that's again juggling everything at the same time. It's a living board.
This is the kind of game I like to play anyway.
Then you're fine, yes. There's no stronger sequences there. It's also a little bit scary for moves like a white attachment here, for example.
Yeah.
But I guess black is fine in this
Or I
case.
can play on top.
Mm.
That's an option.
Yes. Probably that's the way here. Then just take these stones instead.
Yeah. This way
Small
works.
yeah. Small capturing race, but black wins it.
Yeah.
Alright.
So this isn't the game.
That's
White
a little bit
played
more,
here.
yeah? And so, what was it?
Is that black stone there near?
Hmm?
Nice.
There is no blackstone.
This
there.
is not.
Ah,
So I bumped, white extended, and I
Like-
jumped,
White
played
played
this,
one, I think.
and now I played the Atari, but I regretted it later.
Ah, that was the move that you regretted, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
maybe it
white,
looks normal though,
yeah,
yeah.
it looks normal, but when white pulls up,
Black
and-
kind of has to play
yeah,
in the center, right?
Yeah. So white played this Kamer, and now there's something very complicated if white pulls out and I have to resist. Because white can come down here and then it's difficult to read, and also there's a cut here. So if white pulls out here, I kind of have to just play here to be safe. But then I'm making the group so alive, so at this point I thought that I had to capture to be safe. And that's why I regretted playing the Atari, because the stone is not important enough to take OK in response to this move.
But then, for the sake of argument, if you don't do anything and... Well, sooner or later you just have to play the center
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
right? White's going to extend here.
Or Atari first.
Antti,
The Atari
the
is
camera
free.
can't see the bottom right hand corner.
Sorry?
The camera can't see the bottom right hand corner when you're standing in.
Really? The camera?
It can now.
Ah, okay, sorry.
Okay.
So, around here is fine, right?
Yeah. So I guess I have to do like this or something, or like this, but then you get another push.
I guess I play the Atari around
Yeah.
now. Not sure about push anymore. But the argument that I'm making here is that... What was it? Again, black. So let's assume white plays some kind of defensive move around here,
Yeah.
right? And in the game, black played the Atari, white extended, then this one,
And now it's white Sente.
But if black didn't play anything and let white play that one, it would not really be much different from this one, right?
I guess not.
So even in the worst, even if white can do this, it's not so much better. I mean, black lost one stone, but the one stone is also not completely dead.
Yeah.
It might be possible for black to do later. He doesn't have to if he cannot, but he can aim for it. Black might, for example, make this area a bit stronger, preparing here. And it might be that white has to add one move somewhere around here to fix it. Even the turn doesn't do it because it's still there. So we need to do something like that, yeah. So then we cut, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, so then it's like this.
So this can keep there.
Keep there possibly, but it still didn't fix the problem actually.
Yeah.
You can play that one and it still didn't
Yeah,
fix
it's
the problem
fine.
finally. Yes. So it's going to be, white is going to need one extra move still.
But also this is so few points for black now.
Right, but we're getting did we get 1 or 2 moves also right now? We have played one move already, and white needs to add a stone, so we get the Sente as well.
Okay.
So we may have given up some 5-10 points here, but I think 2 moves elsewhere are, well, practically this stone, it's worth it. Well, absolutely speaking, it's hard to say if it's good or bad, but my feeling is that white is also weak here, so why wouldn't I cut when it's possible?
Yeah.
White extended, black extended.
Yeah.
Same one.
Came in. Gotcha. And we're not sure where Boris played next.
So black's 1 point jump maybe as knight's move, just so that
This one.
Yeah,
And
one
here.
point, just so that it ends
Here.
up at shape point if this sequence happens.
But this group it needs to be connected out as well.
We are talking about contingencies around here, here, and here. And if
Yeah.
black has a stone here, it's a little bit
It's
more
a bit-
solid
yeah.
for the. It's really hard to say though.
Yeah.
But if
It
it's
help-
here, there's
yeah,
ladder,
this stone here helps a lot.
and this one doesn't cost ladder, so
Yeah.
plus and minuses there. But black's priority should be to just get the group out because it's white who is also under attack here and here.
So we weren't sure where Boris played next.
Push on the second line, maybe?
Which one? This one.
Yeah.
I got yeah.
And now come back with the stones, bump into the peak stone. So
This
7.
Yeah.
This
There,
one.
Yeah.
No, because I had this one and then you bumped.
Okay.
So we're not sure where white took Gote on this board.
Is it possible you played here?
No. Oh, yes. I don't think so.
Which one is it? Territorially it's big, but there's like 2 or 3 groups in the center not completely living, so.
Yeah, I think you might have played here thinking that it was very big if I ignored, but I'm not sure.
But it was after, it was way up.
Way after.
Uh,
Defending the upper left corner? No.
So I had 2 stones. I bumped against the black stone, and then I also connected the cut afterwards. And you put a stone. The cut was white has a stone here, white has a stone here, white has a stone here.
Yeah,
white-
so I peeked, you bumped, and then there was something where I think I jumped there in response to that.
And the fighting went from
But we're
there.
missing a white goat.
Yeah.
Why didn't 1 point jump down from the 3 stones?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
No, that
I
wasn't.
also peeped.
This peak.
No,
I think that was much
the
later.
one in the middle of the shape. 10.
Here?
Yeah.
But that's probably also
This
later,
is
right?
later, yeah. So this was definitely played and I ignored it. So if we put this on and then this is the position.
So
So
I'll
I've
say
played
this
yeah,
way.
I've played here,
White
bump, then
here.
jump. And I think my jump here must be wrong.
Black cannot just cut white off here. What is going on? So that one, I guess.
Or maybe white's goat here was like
Yeah, that's right.
this. Yeah,
Ah,
yes,
that
so
makes
white's
sense,
goat
yeah.
here is like this. That's
Yeah,
right.
then it makes sense for black to
Yeah.
play this one.
Those
No,
3
it
stones.
happened the other way around. So it happened at first bump into the stone, then black played there, and then I connected.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, I'm sure that I played this and you bumped.
Well,
And the
either way.
connection is also really good.
No, I played this and you connect, right? And then this is your goat here,
Yeah.
I guess. And I've
okay.
made another jump down here, but I think that I should just play like this.
Well, now that I look at it, it's still
Complicated.
But the thing is that if we play in this area, it means that it affects this black
Yeah.
group, right? And we still don't know if this is a 1.5
This
here or
is
not.
certainly Sente.
Right. Which means that, well, white won't play it immediately. White will keep on fighting here first.
Yeah, so I can do like this one.
Right. So then I play Harry here. Okay, now I get it. Naturally.
And I might
we say Sente, right?
Yeah, so if I play like this one, but that's not good. So I've got to do like that.
With this.
That's okay. And can I? Yeah.
Most likely you need to
So,
have one
yeah,
more
so
move.
I,
Yeah.
like this.
So finally, this
Yeah.
stone is going to look really weird, right?
Yeah. And now now this is settled, and now it's just a fight against this group.
Yeah. So just a general principle is that if there's this kind of an uncertain position,
Yeah.
we should call this kind of a group thin. Where thin means that the opponent has many different kinds of possible attacks, attacking moves, cuts and so on, contingencies. And basically it means that if black is thin here, it means that on the other hand, white is thick. As in, white's this move may be Sente, white's this move may be Sente. It's almost like you can expect these stones are here already, because black has to defend. And then it doesn't really look the kind of place where black would fight, right? So the simple fact that black is thin, white has attacking moves, means that black doesn't really want to touch in this area, because it's close to
Yeah.
the thinness.
Yeah. So I played here.
And yes, that's correct. Most likely that's correct.
So now we have this fight.
Okay, let's see. Is it decisive?
It changes a lot.
Okay, we have to see it in that case.
Okay.
Do we have that? Okay.
Will I
Yeah.
get out the ingredients?
Yep. So black fixes that one.
Not quite.
In a cove. If we play here. Okay.
And then white played this go immediately.
But also if white loses the go, so it's back
But
to the
this is
question,
Sente,
is this
yeah.
Sente or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Sente, right? Okay. Here?
No.
I didn't play.
I think you played like this or something. One of these. I'm not sure.
No, I played against the shape with the eye, I attacked the eye, the black eye on the
Would be
right
natural to
hand
start
side.
with this one. It's a move you want to play anyway.
Or this one.
No, no, I attacked the shape on the right side, the eye.
Oh, this one. This one. Yeah.
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 That's right.
Yeah. And I don't. I think
So
I
you
used
no,
this.
No. Use this one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is my local threat.
All right.
And
Something here.
yeah. Or
You didn't defend in that way.
Defend.
like this.
So I pushed, I played this one.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Ah, okay, okay.
Okay.
Now I played
This one?
Yeah. And then I defended here. Yeah, that's right. And then capture. And
Now you played Hane. Yeah.
this is an interesting life and death problem.
Oh yes. Okay, let's some time for everybody. What's going on?
I thought perhaps
I need it for
that-
myself as well, actually. I mean, first move is obvious, but what's going on then?
Well, you say the first move is obvious
Well,
First move is obvious, yeah.
Yeah?
to you.
Yeah?
Because normally just playing this one would be a J group, which
Yeah.
means it's Hane and 1, 2 in the corner. That's dead.
This
And
one
this
would
is
be
an
L
L
plus
group.
1.
So for example, we can attach around
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So
Some
it's a
kind of
bulky
cove.
5. Bulky 5.
Bulky 5 because we don't need to connect against this one. So
Yeah.
Hane, descend.
Yeah,
Big eye, dead.
yeah. Unless there's a capturing race against this group.
Right. And in this particular shape, anything like this doesn't exist. It's a jump inside. That doesn't even defend the stones. So there's just one move we can think about. Sorry. Now if black connects, it's just strictly alive.
Yeah.
Might be a seki, but strictly alive. So, and that might be...
Or trigger. Only for trigger. Yeah, Atari? Not that one.
This one.
Yeah, this one.
got this. No. We cannot play this because black connects and white does.
Yeah.
So we need to play this one. Okay, so then it's kind of straightforward.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does the ko mean? Because if black loses the ko, his group is dead.
Yeah.
So it means black wins the ko no matter what.
Yes.
No matter what black
So white
plays.
gets to use it, right?
Black
Yeah.
captures first, right?
Yeah. And then white can play anywhere.
White can choose his 2 stones. What's good? But it seems like this group still has. Oh no, it's right here.
Yeah.
So the biggest move is.
There's no way to capture these
7-4?
so it could be to destroy this territory.
7-4?
7-4.
Or 4-7? How
This
is that?
4-7.
No. The
Well, like this one, huh?
Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah.
this one, huh?
ah.
Try to get a bit more.
Yeah, those
Yes.
two. Yes.
It's still the corner, right?
Let's do the corner, yeah. But the thing is, if white doesn't do something here,
Yeah.
black is going to come back here later on.
Yeah.
Threaten to cut 3 stones or go
So
into
it's
the
better
corner.
for white to
We had this
wait
exchange
until
in
later.
action.
Right.
We had this exchanging.
Oh, it's there already.
That was already there.
That's a big minus.
Yeah, so it stops me from connecting here.
But also it means that black is completely solid here.
Yeah. So the correct thing to do is at this point, white should just Tanuki and play the collator, because there's no big enough threat currently.
Oh, it's
Back on move?
Yeah,
now?
so it's like this. Yeah. Yeah.
But the logic
There's
is you should
nothing.
ignore any move I play and just pick the core.
Yeah.
Pick the stones, right?
Like, the biggest move has to be in this corner. Let's see if there's anything else.
Yeah. I think it seems kind of one-way streets.
It is kind of one-way street, yeah.
Mm.
Unless you're trying to make a connection over here, but I don't think there's anything like that.
Yeah, in any case, black leaves easily,
Yeah.
so it's not really. Nice one. So the bottom line of this one was that the white had to answer the threat, huh? If white could read this out.
Well, he did play it like this in the game. There was some complication about the co, so
But I
Boris
should
played it.
just defend it and live there, and then you take the co, then I play the 10 with connection, right? And then we keep fighting.
is this a
except
block?
when I can lose the co.
It's a block card.
Oh.
So here,
Isn't it better to,
Let's go back.
like this, fewer threats?
but this one is going to be black connection, right? That's one threat. Alright, so you can use this one as the second threat. And this one as the third threat.
Yeah. And then this is a fourth
This is
threat.
the fourth
Yeah.
threat. 4 threats, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, whenever we have a big code, we need to do all of this. If it's here, it's 1 threat. 2 threats, the could be 4 in the right order. Hard to say.
Is this, how many threats is this though?
That one is this here.
Yeah.
Here. That's also quite a few actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that's quite a lot of threats.
Even this one lives. This might be the best one for threats,
yes,
but
yes.
What if white plays here, and then if black doesn't use this as a co-threat, then white can play here and as a co-threat instead?
so white plays here. Black takes the call.
Yeah.
White captures.
This is sensei, right? So you need to defend.
But also is black alive now.
Well, black is alive if black captures this.
But it's white can do it here now.
Black,
Because you this one, huh?
Oh. Yeah, now it's enough.
Just extend. Just
Yeah.
extend.
okay.
So this is half an eye, this is half an eye, so
Yeah.
I just need one eye here.
Right there. Yep. totally not obvious anyway.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Clamp.
Yeah.
But against clamp also. Ah, but right. Hmm?
Right. There you go.
With this go here.
Like this.
That
It's
one?
threatening. Yeah. And then this will be a.
But you're happy to get
squeeze,
the one
yeah.
stone, yeah?
Yeah. So in this case, you squeeze and then take the eye here.
But there's two eyes here.
Yeah,
That is so fine.
So you play yeah. So it's
There's no way to take it back.
Yeah.
Back slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably just connect and keep on fighting the code. Then.
Yeah.
Is this still center?
It's capital capture. Yeah.
Not quite.
Black plate
No,
is
black's just
black
like
capture.
Yeah. The code was in the wrong state while
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
analysing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
To me, finally, it's going to be white playing this as a threat anyway. And if that's the case, we can also play this one, right? It's not like black is live here.
Isn't it?
But if black is live now, then
Yeah.
we should play this way. But for the sake of argument, so something like, which way is it? Here? Here? And keep on fighting. What's going to be the bottom line anyway? Well, anyway, even if black loses this group over here, it seems like black is strong all around.
Yeah.
Lots of territory. And white's territory is, well, white has some corners as well. So can we maybe assume something like this?
Seems like an option.
Is this acceptable to white?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I
So
think white prefers to lose the co and
yeah,
take some
so
profit.
it means that if white has to even fight against this one, it means this one is also black's threat, and all of the corner moves are also black's threats.
Okay.
So it's kind of a, it's hard. Whereas if
And
black
also
connects
this
one,
way, if black wins this code, this whole white group is
yeah.
short of ice.
So it is actually quite quite bad for white already.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so where was white's mistake? White was leading earlier. This was one, but it looked better at one point. I lost
That's
track
why
of
the
it.
need to actually
I
throw
think
in
maybe
that code
playing
right
this
away.
code immediately
Yeah,
is bad.
because that's white is right.
Yeah.
So white doesn't
So
have
white
to
doesn't
do it
need to
right
start
away.
this code straight away.
So what's the shape again? Sorry. There's black stone
This.
here, and there's black stone here, and there's white stone here.
Well, yeah. So it's like this then.
Say the 4-5 exchange already happened as well.
Yeah.
10-4 stone is down one. Oh, there.
Yeah. And this is here already.
Yes.
Yeah. So
That-
what? Yeah.
We can almost call this one the losing move actually.
Yes.
It's pretty close.
So
It's better for white to just simply capture, for example.
Yeah. even though this is goatee.
Even though it's got it. Because as long as we don't make this kind of an exchange, there could be anything like this on the left side.
Yeah.
And once black has this kind of a stone here, there's nothing inside anymore, right?
Yeah.
That kind of a simple mistake. White doesn't gain anything with this one, and black's shape becomes a lot stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But potentially the stone is captured, black can't pull out.
Yeah, just capture.
Probably
Black can't
doesn't
pull out,
want
but
to anyway.
black plays this one locally, right?
Yeah.
Actually, black can.
Oh yeah, you'll keep on doing it, huh?
It works.
And then at this point we say once more and
No, you don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah, some problem here. So I have to do this.
Well, it's probably something that doesn't need to do.
like this. So,
So next time.
yeah. This group is
Right, but my
east
shape
size.
around here is
Yeah.
also strong, so I can go this far. Can you play high? Okay, now this is back in the discussion as
But this
well.
is- yeah,
Is this my
so-
center?
Yes. Does this actually work? You play here.
No, you
Yes,
just go
actually
through
do
here.
this.
Oh, that one you
this.
can do. This is correct, this is great.
I'll be
Okay,
there.
this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I cannot fight this, huh?
Mhm.
So, obviously, because of that, I had to play this one earlier, right? This is the kind of game we get when everything is fighting and everything is interconnected. And actually, I would almost say, as a follow-up from my yesterday's endgame lecture, that counting the endgame is also important here. Because it's quite unlikely that you end up killing everything, but if you get 3-4 points extra from the fighting, then you can win with that, right? Or that's how I will play it anyway. I think this is a good place to start wrapping up.
Okay.
So what's the bottom line? Bottom line was in the opening that Black let White get a little bit ahead in the opening, right? Because Black played the Kote variations of the 3-3 invasion Joseki, which let White kind of get every single interesting point on the board, right? And then White was good for a while, and it came to the shape creating fight around here, and I think it became, what was it? Well, if White had simply made a good shape around here and efficiently run out, sacrificing the 3, then it would have been quite a lot easier. Probably White was fine in that case. But once it became a slightly, once it became a slightly inefficient White shape, and White also ran out here, and there were 3-4 different groups fighting for the.
No, this is here. That's right, and this isn't.
Yeah.
Yes, this push hasn't been played yet.
And it's 3 or 4 different groups fighting all together at the same time. Then it becomes a raiding battle. You need to try to juggle different things at the same time. And in my opinion, it's also a little bit like a roulette, because if you miss one thing, the game is over. And, well, that's how it happened. In this game, it happened that finally Black got this corner, due to the good capturing sequence, in my opinion.
So what happened later on in the game was I played this peep and something like this to try and make points here.
Yeah,
White was able to peep and put some stones in this area, and this group got cut off and there was a fight.
The story doesn't end still.
Well, we died, right?
Yeah, well, so I lost some stones here but made this territory.
Oh, right, because White also isn't completely alive, right? So
After capturing these, White is alive.
oh, right, it was captured. Yeah, that's right.
So, could you wrap this up by providing us some concluding advice for the audience?
Like, obviously, you need to study more endgame, right? If you just study endgame, this would never have happened. White could have easily won with this invading group around here, right? What is Jeff's impression? I think it's Jeff here. Jeff is shaking his head.
Well, let's say when White could have easily just fight with one group, White start with the second.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, actually.
And particularly,
Could you say again, please? What was it?
So,
Start with
Jeff's,
one group, rather
Jeff's
than
point
two.
was that. Let's go back to the opening.
Yeah, I would do that for you.
I can actually wrap that up into a Japanese proverb, which is that. So at this point, the opening was good for White, right? And Black played this one, and Jeff's point was that White is already happy. White is a slightly weak group, a weak stone, and all White needs to do is make the one weak stone stronger, right?
Yeah.
And that's an easy way to play the game. White is ahead, keep it simple, win the game. And White played a little bit more actively, which led to White's getting cut in two.
Yeah.
And that is, White used to be in good, easy position, and now White kind of created trouble for himself.
Yes.
Split himself in two. Gave Black the fighting chance that Black really needed. And the way I would phrase this is that, let's go back to this point, right? There's a proverb. If you have 6 groups, One of them is dead. How many does white have? Black just cut here.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. White killed himself. I mean, that's of course tongue-in-cheek, but it's true that if you have around 6 groups, usually you're going to get really, really busy. If you keep yourself to 5 groups or less, probably you're all fine if you're playing properly. So that's the easy way to say it.
That proverb was on my mind when I was making this.
So actually, white only needs to count to 5 in this position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cannot get cut anymore. Don't get cut. Cannot get cut. Maybe this one, this one, this one. Can I jump? Probably. That kind of thing. Count to 5. Okay.